welcome to Reading the Bible to Cats. It's funny, the camera just turned on before it kind of turned itself on. Um, okay, I hope there isn't static when I read. I am just going to pounce on it on 1 Samuel chapter 27, and I'm just going to read it off my phone. And we will take a look at Guster's lovely head. But Guster, you don't want to turn around? No, I guess not. Okay, let's begin. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat. Me. Okay, I'm ready. But David among the Philistines, and this is the NIV version. But David thought to himself, one of these days I will be destroyed by the hand of Saul. The best thing I can do is to escape to the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will give up searching for me anywhere in Israel, and I will slip out of his hand. So David and the 600 men with him left and went over to Achish, son of Maoch, king of Gath. David and his men settled in Gath with Achish. Each man had his family with him, and David had his two wives, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail of Carmel, the widow of Nabal. When Saul was told that David had fled to Gath, he no longer searched for him. Then David said to Achish, if I have found favor in your eyes, let a place be assigned to me in one of the country towns that I may live there. Why should your servant live in the royal city with you? So on that day, Achish gave him Ziklag, and it has belonged to the kings of Judah ever since. David lived in Philistine territory a year and 4 months. Now, David and his men went up and raided the Gershurites, the Girzites, and the Amalekites. From ancient times, these peoples had lived in the land extending to Shur and Egypt. Whenever David attacked an area, he did not leave a man or woman alive, but took sheep and cattle, donkeys and camels and clothes. Then he returned to Achish. When Achish asked, where did you go raiding today? David would say, against the Negev of Judah, or against the Negev of Jeremiel, or against the Negev of the Kenites. He did not leave a man or woman alive to be brought to Gath, for he thought they might inform on us and say, this is what David did. And such was his practice as long as he lived in Philistine territory. Achish trusted David and said to himself, he has become so obnoxious to his people, the Israelites, that he will be my servant for life. Okay, everybody, that is the end of 1 Samuel chapter 27. And yeah, no, it was kind of short. Let me look at 1 Samuel 28. Maybe we can, oh yeah, we can read two chapters. Let's see, this one's a long one. Well, that's okay. Let's just go on and read 1 Samuel chapter 28. In those days, the Philistines gathered their forces to fight against Israel. Achish said to David, you must understand that you and your men will accompany me in the army. David said, then you will see for yourself what your servant can do. Achish replied, very well, I will make you my bodyguard for life. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had mourned for him and buried him in his own town of Ramah. Saul had expelled the mediums and spiritists from the land. The Philistines assembled and came and set up camp at Shunem, while Saul gathered all Israel and set up camp at Gilboa. When Saul saw the Philistine army, he was afraid. Terror filled his heart. He inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him by dreams or Urim or prophets. Saul then said to his attendants, "Find me a woman who is a medium, so I may go and inquire of her." "There is one in Endor," they said. So Saul disguised himself, putting on other clothes, and at night he and 2 men went to the woman. "Consult a spirit for me," he said, "and bring up for me the one I name." But the woman said to him, "Surely you know what Saul has done. He has cut off the mediums and spiritists from the land. Why have you set a trap for my life to bring about my death?" Saul swore to her by the Lord, "As surely as the Lord lives, you will not be punished for this." Then the woman asked, "Whom shall I bring up for you?" "Bring up Samuel," he said. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out at the top of her voice and said to Saul, "Why have you deceived me? You are Saul." The king said to her, "Don't be afraid. What do you see?" The woman said, "I see a ghostly figure coming up out of the earth." "What does he look like?" he asked. "An old man wearing a robe is coming up," she said. Then Saul knew it was Samuel, and he bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. Samuel said to Saul, "Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up?" "I am in great distress," Saul said. "The Philistines are fighting against me, and God has departed from me. He no longer answers me, either by prophets or by dreams. So I have called on you to tell me what to do." Samuel said, "Why do you consult me? Now that the Lord has departed from you and become your enemy, the Lord has done what he predicted through me. The Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hands and given it to one of your neighbors, to David, because you did not obey the Lord or carry out his fierce wrath against the Amalekites. The Lord has done this to you today. The Lord will deliver both Israel and you into the hands of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also give the army of Israel into the hands of the Philistines." Immediately Saul fell full length on the ground, filled with fear because of Samuel's words. His strength was gone, for he had eaten nothing all that day and all that night. When the woman came to Saul and saw that he was greatly shaken, she said, "Look, your servant has obeyed you. I took my life in my hands and did what you told me to do. Now please listen to your servant and let me give you some food so you may eat and have the strength to go on your way." He refused and said, "I will not eat." But his men joined the woman in urging him, and he listened to them. He got up from the ground and sat on the couch. The woman had a fattened calf at the house, which she butchered at once. She took some flour, kneaded it, and baked bread without yeast. Then she set it before Saul and his men, and they ate. That same night they got up and left. Okay, everybody, that is the end of 1 Samuel chapter 28, which is one of the more mysterious chapters in the Bible. It's so, I don't know, mysterious because it's like, it seems like she called Samuel up, you know, but I think I haven't really researched it, but I think different scholars think she very well, biblical scholars, and you know, very well think that she could have actually called Samuel up, and then others think it was a deception, because you're not supposed to consult mediums. But isn't it mysterious? I don't really know how to process it. I never have. I've read this before. Um it just doesn't, there's, you can't tie nice, tidy little bow around this. Um, yeah, because it's like breaking one of the well, uh, it goes against the law of the law of God to the Jewish law to consult with spiritists and mediums and psychics or whatever, because God wants people to inquire of Him. But here, Saul didn't hear from God, and he's like, "I'm gonna do this on my own. Find me a witch, find me a psychic, find me a clairvoyant medium." And that's what he did. It's kind of reminds me of Sarah, where God had promised the Isaac to her, the son, that she would have a son in her old age, and she grew impatient, and she's like, "I don't think." Well, I'm paraphrasing. It's like, "I don't think God's gonna make. I don't know. We need to take this into our own hands." And so then she enlists Hagar, and ooh, sorry everybody, I just heard a weird knock at my door. I don't know if that was a knock. Anyway, don't worry, it's nothing. Just was like a funny little, probably my neighbors upstairs. It's kind of spooky. I'm talking about spooky things, and then I got spooked. Hmm. Anyway, I don't know if I have anything really to say. I was saying something, but I was interrupted by a spooky sound in my own abode. Let's see if I can find a commentary. Let's see. I wonder what Matthew Henry has to say. Matthew Henry. Um, on First Samuel. If any of you have thoughts on this, feel free to, you know, post your thoughts in the comments.